A board's fourth duty is to ensure that the resources are available to achieve the approved program. Resources may be thought of in two categories, ledger and non-ledger. Ledger resources consist primarily of money and property. Directors have a legal, that is, a fiduciary responsibility to exercise their financial stewardship in three ways. 1. The independent financial audit. Every public entity, regardless of how small or reputable, should have an annual outside review of its records and cash management procedures. Small organizations may assign this to a paraprofessional, while larger organizations should engage an auditing firm with appropriate competency. Audit reports are addressed to the board, not to management, and must be processed by the board. 2. The annual budget. The budget is an instrument by which an organization distributes its money. It is a good place to observe if the financial plan is consistent with the approved goals. In the final analysis, a board is responsible for how its resources are used. Boards should give careful attention to annual budget approval, but boards should also track financial activity throughout the year. Here too it is necessary to find a balance between too much detail and not enough. Most organizations are well served by a one-page report that states major income and expenses in 3 columns: present year activity, present year budget, and previous year activity. Number 3. Finally, a board exercises its financial responsibility in the area of risk management. Boards should ask themselves at least once a year, what can go wrong? Our properties, are they properly insured? What about various kinds of liability, including directors' and officers' liability? Are there risks that could be eliminated or diminished?
I have another question. What is the board's role in fundraising?
Another good question, but a tough one. Let's begin by acknowledging that fundraising is important. I am fond of saying to nonprofits, according to your fundraising be it unto you. Your success in fundraising will determine how much good you're able to do. How directors participate in fundraising varies according to the age and size of the organization. In a young organization, for example, with little or no staff, board members do everything. Large, mature organizations employ fundraisers, but directors should be actively involved in one or more of the following 3 ways. First, directors need to devise a plan and establish the policies by which the necessary funds will be raised. Second, directors are expected to make an annual contribution in proportion to their means. The mantra is, don't ask others to give until you have given yourself. Third, directors are expected to participate in practical ways that are consistent with their abilities. For some, that will be direct solicitation, while others may be involved in thanking contributors or passing along the names of potential donors.
Now tell me what you mean by non-ledger resources.
Basically, it comes down to staffing and reputation. The quality of an organization, we know, is determined by the quality of its people. Staff is truly an organization's most valuable resource. But few boards act that way. Staff is too often taken for granted. A board's responsibility to staff is exercised through 5 procedures. 1. A job description that states what the employee is expected to accomplish. 2. An organizational chart that clarifies relationships, who is responsible to whom. 3. A procedure for annual performance evaluations, including a plan for personal growth. 4. A salary scale, how much pay. Payroll is a sensitive subject. Inconsistency contributes to rapid turnover and poor morale. 5. A grievance procedure, how things will be handled when things go wrong, as they will, even in the best organizations. Reputation or image, if you prefer, is the second non-ledger resource. A good reputation is more valuable than the most expensive perfume, so says the wise man. Solomon could not have known how much perfume would be needed to cover up the unsavory things some organizations do. Trust is among the most priceless resources a public entity has. Once trust is compromised, it is hard, sometimes impossible, to win it back. We operate in a competitive environment. The public is increasingly suspicious and cynical. Directors and executives must go to great lengths not only to do a good job, but to be seen as having done a good job. Image is in. Perception is reality.
Okay, you're telling me that a board's fiduciary responsibility is seen in how both ledger and non-ledger resources are preserved and used to achieve an organization's mission. What else must boards do to meet their responsibilities?